Hello everyone, my name is Harshi and I'm from Harshi's Fun Activities. Today I'll be teaching you how to paint a girl walking in a rainy day type of landscape. So the materials you'll be needing for this is a sheet of paper, an eraser, a pencil, a sky blue, a lighter sky blue, a red and chrome yellow oil pastels, an acrylic liner that's water-based, or an acrylic painter. We need a small flat brush and a round brush. We need a jar of water, watercolors, and paper towels. So let's get started doing our sketch first. We can now get our piece of paper and our pencil and eraser just in case you make mistakes. So here's my sheet of paper. I'm going to be demonstrating how to draw the girl. So first, you're just going to draw like a U shape. Make sure to draw quite lightly. Each step I'll be showing you a little more closely. And then you're just going to follow those U lines and make kind of like a rectangle-ish shape. So you're going to make two lines like going down, and then you're going to connect them with a curve. Just so you can see a little better. Okay, so now we're going to make like slight curves. You can like adjust this a little bit. I'm adjusting it like this. And I made it like the wind is kind of like pushing her dress like an angle. And you're gonna just make curves like how you would just like make like W's, but curved and not pointy. And then you're just gonna connect that all to there. We can now do our hands first. Before that, I'm just gonna give you a close look to see how that works. Okay. So next, we're gonna make the arms. So we're just gonna make like a wavy like shape for the arm. And make like a hand shape. I'll show you that up close a little bit. Like this. We can now continue like that with the other part of her arm. We can make like bumpy and wavy lines and then just connect it the same way I showed you. Like that. And then we can now make our umbrella. So what you need to do for that is just make a nice little curve. And then just go ahead and make the same things like you are on the dress to connect it, but the other way. And connect them like the shirt or the top of the dress with that curve. I'm just gonna adjust mine a little bit. So mine's just gonna go a little bit up. It's always okay to just adjust it the way you want it to be, so it doesn't look like, oh no, it doesn't look good. Okay, so here's another up close look of what we did so far. Okay, so then we're just gonna draw like two curves, just jointing to the umbrella. And this is gonna be like the second arm holding like the umbrella stick you've seen. That. And that's what I mean. That's like what I mean. Okay, so for the legs, we're just going to draw a curve and another curve. Like this. But don't connect it. I'm just going to put that a little more closer so you can see what to do and what to not do. And then I'm just going to make the same type of curve. Do not connect it. I'm just going to adjust this a bit. Okay. So that's how it looks. And then we're just going to make a heart shape. And we're going to go back to the umbrella and see where you have the endings of each curve and take that point and connect it to the top. And this is what I mean. You can all see that really good. There we go. And then you're just going to make like a line. I'm just going to put like a line that goes like, makes an illusion that goes through the heart. I'm just going to make like a different angle so you can see what I mean. So this time it's a little diagonal. And then I'm just going to make like a line, just make an obstacle illusion, like make it just go through. And this is what I mean. Okay, we can now start coloring. So the first step for coloring is we need to grab our oil pastels. But before I do anything, I just want to give a close-up look. So I'm just going to put the camera back to my face. And here we go. Here's a close-up look of our sketch. So it's pretty simple because we just started off like with a curve. So that makes it like a little easier. So just find the shapes that a body would use and just use those shapes to make whatever you need to make. Shapes are all the things you need to use to make like a drawing or something that's related to art. Okay, so here I'm going to put the camera down, and we're going to take a light blue oil pastel. So this is just called pale blue. If you have pale blue, perfect. And now we're just going to make like streaky lines that makes it look like raindrops, I bet. So we're just going to make a few lines. We're just basically coloring, but not well coloring. We're just like making random lines of obstacle illusions that makes it look like it's raining. And one more thing, if you can't do this part, we're not there yet, but if you can't, like, just make a zigzag with, like, your black one, your black, like, marker. And we're going to be using some oil pastels here. So if you use watercolor, it's going to create a wax resist. So what we need to do is, all you have to do is just make, like, a few, like, zigzag-like shapes. And that's that. And here, I'm going to just show you that. And that's what I mean. So here, I did a little bit of coloring of the blue. If that might look like a gray, it's not a gray, it's a blue. It's a blue, not a gray. So there you go, it's a blue. So maybe this oil pastel will help you see that it's a blue. So the two different types of blues are, this is like the sky blue and this is like the pale sky blue, like usually. Okay, back to our drawing. So if you all can see that pretty well, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to follow that pattern. And I'm going to make it go all the way to this line we made. So that's what we're going to do. So if you do this, it'll give like an illusion of that, like a landscape if you were in rain. So if you took like a photo of yourself in rain, you would see some like raindrops, but that would take too long to draw. So what you can do is you can do this. We're going to do the girl as the last step because that will take away a little bit of our time. Even though we are still doing that in our drawing, we need to do the simple steps first so we can get our brains going on our drawing muscles. So once you did that, you're going to take your sky blue and you're going to make lines. But before I do that, I'm just going to take that out. I'm going to show you how it looks like on the bottom and on the top. There. I hope you've got a close look. And we are not going to color this part yet. We're going to use this color right now. And we're just going to make like light lines that make it look more of a rain. So you know how like there's like millions of raindrops when you take a photo? They might appear. So this is just going to be your sky with the light blue, and your darker sky blue. It's just going to make an illusion of those raindrops, but we're only going to make a few. So the darker you make the first layer, the more darker you're going to make the second one. So make sure you're doing that super duper light. It may look like I'm doing it very dark on the camera, but I'm really doing it super duper light. There, so I've made like lots and lots of lines going everywhere, but not down here. We're gonna go back to our sky blue. We are gonna color the bottom just the way we did the top, but we're gonna color it horizontally. But try to not color the zigzag part. That is where you're gonna struggle with your acrylic liner because it wouldn't go on top of it. So the last time I tried it, it would not work, so try it this way. So we're gonna basically do the same thing we did on this part for the lighter blue, but we're gonna do it horizontally now. So just try to make this an even layer. You can also use crayons if you have a suitable color, but it might not be as well as your oil pastel works. So just play around and color with this a little bit. And you can use your finger just to blend this a little bit in, so it doesn't look as rough. There we go. Oh, my finger's dirty. Okay, back to the drawing. We're going to take the same glue we made the raindrops with, and we're going to make the same thing, but horizontally. Whenever we have a vertical base, we're going to do it vertical. Whenever we have a horizontal base, we're going to do it all horizontal base. Just make like a few. There. So we can now start on our girl because we've got our brains training on our drawing skills. But I'm just going to show you how it looks like. Okay. So we can now grab our acrylic liner, and we can just go over our zigzag. This is quite pigmented, so you really want to be careful not to make so many mistakes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the bases where we're gonna color it all black. So I'm just gonna outline those so you guys can just see what we're gonna do black. So you can just pause the video, do it, or you can follow along with me. So for the shoes, they're definitely gonna be black. At the end, we're all gonna fine line it all. I'm just going to just show you all the black spots with my acrylic liner. You can do this too, because the black will not really show on top of this. There. We can also do the shirt part, but not in the gap. This is quite pigmented a lot. So I base like technically think you can see that. I'm just gonna tilt it over so you can see it a little bit better. So as you can see, we're only gonna do the shirt, the heart-like shape we did at the bottom, and the zigzag. You don't need to do anything on the zigzag anymore because you did this. And the umbrella lines you've divided over here, we're going to do those black. And the shirt, that's all we're going to do black. If you'd like to, you can do the dress black, but I'm going to do a different color. Okay, so we can now begin with our watercolor sets. You can use tubes, pens, whatever you can think of. And yeah, we're going to now be needing our brushes too. So first of all, we're going to take our flat brush and load it up with soft apricot. So soft apricot is kind of like a really good skin tone for all type of body-ish parts. So I'm just going to load that up in my brush. And we're going to do the feet, the arms, and this part of the back that's showing. So we can just paint that part. Like this. You can do parts that you can't fill in with your round brush. And that's what exactly I'm gonna do. But you can try using the corners of your flat brush to like get all the corners to focus and get all filled in. Sorry if you can hear some background noises. We can now grab our round brush, and now we can take the same color we've used for the back and little feet. And I'm using a round brush loaded because this is more pointy. And this can do more small details. So you might want to use a round brush for this part. So we're going to do both the arms with this. And if some parts are a little darker and more of a tan, you can go ahead and put another layer of that same color on top so it can be all the same skin tone. There. We can now get our brush loaded up with black watercolor. And this is a watercolor painting mostly and a oil pastel, but the reason I included oil pastels, the main colors are really these blues, but the reason I included yellow and red is the reason so we can just like cover this up, but we're first going to put some dots of those colors. You can choose whatever color you want, but I'm just going to add a few of yellow and mostly red dots, and this will create a wax resist and it will not really show through. And I'm just going to paint the shirt black with my same round brush, rinsed out and loaded up with black watercolor. Just like this. And if you feel like some of your back is showing a little too much, you can just create a little more black over your skin tones you've made. And I feel like mine's a little bit too big, so I'm just going to fill a little bit of that. There, I think that's good for me. Okay, I'm gonna rinse out my brush and dry it on my paper towels. Looks like it can speak today well, huh? And you can now go ahead and choose whatever type of color you want to go ahead and use for the umbrella. I'm just gonna be using some Marionette pink because that's amazingly pretty, with a little bit of Christmas red, also a tad bit of purple. I don't want too much, so this would be a little bit of a magenta-ish color, but you want more magenta in it. Well, of course, oh sorry, not magenta, more Marionette pink in there. Of course you can use whatever color you'd like, But the main colors I would use is any type of red you have that's kind of dark, and any type of darkish pink, or any type of like a purplish indigo color. That would be my best recommendations for the umbrella because it looks so good with the black. Now I'm just going to use my same round brush. You can use your flat brush. Maybe I'll switch over to my flash brush right now. My brush is getting out, so I'll switch over to my flat brush. You want your color to be the same color as you would mixed it the first time, because if you make it like, suppose, darker, it would not look the same. If you made it lighter, what would that be? Not the same. So you really want to try to make a lot of color that would be enough to fill what you need. So if you want to make like a gray out of your black, you need the same amount of water as you need as pigment. So it's a 50-50 ratio of each color. Okay, so I'm just finishing up painting the umbrella. Nice pretty pink. And I'm just gonna add a small coat of red on top. My Christmas red, because that would make it look quite pretty and looks like I made it a little too dark, but I think this would make it even prettier. So I'm just gonna stick it with this because your red and your pink would kind of make like a really good match. So these are the two with my red and these are with my pink. So this one's more of a red already, huh? So you want like a 50-50 ratio of everything. So even with acrylic, you want like white or with 50 and black with 50 to make a gray. Okay, so I've just painted my umbrella a really cool color, just like that. Okay, since the umbrella is red, I'm going to be taking my red oil pastel and I'm just going to be making a few colored dots. And you don't have to like really do whatever I'm doing, just do your own imagination. I really love red and pink, so I'm going with this combination. You can also make up your own color combinations. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my Marrowette pink with a touch bit of my bright indigo purple. We'll make a really nice deep magenta-ish purple. And it'll look really good with red and black. So make up your own creations and yeah, your own style. And if you ever wanted to be more pink for this combination I told you, you can add more Marrowette. And if you want it to be like more purple, you can use more bright indigo purple. You can also add a little bit of water and make the color lighter or darker. So for the darker, you want to add more color. For the lighter, you want to add more water. And it would not be a 50-50 ratio anymore if you don't want it to be in kind of like in the middle. So I've used more pigment than water in here, so it's not a complete 50-50 ratio. It's kind of like a 90-10 ratio I've been using right here. And I'm going to do the bottom holes with my round brush because I don't want any of this to go into my skin and ruin that. There we go. So the red dots really don't show that much. I'm going to load a little more black into my brush. And I'm going to color in the heart shape on the bottom. And that's complete. But if you'd like, you can add some designs on the black or a few polka dots on the umbrella. I'm just going to take a little bit of my pinkish, purplish, magenta-ish purple I've used for the dress, and I'm just going to make like a few polka dots on the top and not on the bottom. And it doesn't really show, but I don't know why. I'm also going to take a little bit of my purple, little bitty, and I'm just going to make like a few dots. It doesn't layer as good, but it'll be as better. So I'm just going to show you this final picture-ish portrait. So we went a little bit over time because we've gone to 32 minutes, but this is the final product. Of course, you can add like a teal or a turquoise onto the dress, the umbrella, the shirt, whatever. And the shirt does not have to be black. Choose whatever color you want. I just personally like the black, so here's the final thing. Okay, so that is it. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on so you never miss another video. Bye!